Alright, here's the dirty girl. She is almost car show ready. Just really needs a bath at this point. Do a little walkthrough for you guys. So those are actually LEDs. Get them off eBay for Cadillac. You get them in clear, black, and red. I have the carbon fiber tail lamps, but they're so rare and old that I don't like to leave them on the vehicle, so they'll be going on here shortly. As you can see, just dirty girl. Dirty girl. Interior's clean. Just put the Hello Kitty rims on. Love the look. Fresh headlights. These aftermarket ones absolutely suck. They'll start fading after a couple years. And I take pretty good care of my shit. Even with the amount of wax that I put on there, they start cracking. And maybe I'm just getting bad pairs. This is my third set right here. So we'll see if these are going to last this time. Supercharger setup. Did some more powder coating. Clear covers. Chrome them out. Yeah, that one's so hard to see. Did the backings on them. Now I'm happy. Might leave it together for a month or two. I don't know. We'll see. I can't promise anything. I'm obsessed with taking this thing apart and putting it back together. So we just put in some fuel injector clinic. 345s cc injectors. Got the MDX 3.7 in here. The accurate coil packs. Had to be spliced in. I really got to redo that wiring. It's just disgusting. That's probably the next thing I got to do. A lot of the wiring's bothering me right now. So I'm going to relume and rewire some of this shit. It just, the black tapes from GM is killing me, and some mice got in here and started chewing some stuff up, but shit happens. Okay. So the bottom plenum, once again, is from Superfast Mini Tech. When you enter their page and you go to their online store, it'd be on the very last page, which is page 3. If you contact them, I believe you can get just the bottom plenum. I bought the whole kit. The whole kit's pretty expensive. Don't recommend that because all that you need is the bottom plenum. The rest of it is not going to work for you. And it's just going to collect dust, or you possibly throw it away. Okay, so the catch can is from a Dodge Challenger RT. The intake is 2 kits, Pontiac G6. And then I end up getting this is just a universal short ram elbow off eBay, but it worked out great for the air temperature sensor. I would like to extend that. It feels, it's loose, but it just, I don't like it. I'm gonna extend those wires just a little bit to make me happy. And then when I cut the wires, I could loom it better and make it look good. Make it look like how I did these guys right here. Okay, so then we have our ZZP water to air intercooler. I do have a, I'm not going to be able to show it off. I do have a trans cooler on here sandwiched between the radiator and the water to air. The water to air was actually quite easy. Ran the Home Depot, got some square tubing, notched the bumper, and fit perfect. Really didn't have to do much more than that. So this is the shortest stack that they have. I do have their larger stack, and it just touched the hood. I don't know if you can see, but this is the mark right here where it was touching. It was just enough where you had to give it a good slam close, but the supercharger was going to constantly rub on it. So I'm going with their short stack. Turned out really good. 1-inch offset for the supercharger, M90 Gen 5. This particular one's a little bit rare. It doesn't come with the coating on there, so that doesn't make it a better supercharger. It makes it actually slightly less efficient, but it's like 0.003% less efficient than with the coating on there. But I knew it was one of the rarer of the ones, so I just threw it on there. I do have another one with the coating on there, but I'd have to sand the whole thing down and start from scratch. Just not. Oh man, I forgot to put a part on. Shit. I actually have the ZZP aluminum one. It's actually back here, but I'm gonna put that back on when I get back. So, Gen 5 supercharger. So I don't think you really have to do all this madness that I did. It was just something that that wasn't hooked up. Hold on, you didn't see this. Oh, there we go. This is off Prank Parts. So this screws into here. Now this Prank Parts allows me to put in the Acura TL throttle body spacer, which you can see right there. And then I have bolts going through here to adapt to the GM one. I believe that if you just swap over to a Honda one, it should bolt right up. Don't know. Haven't tried it yet. There's so much that I fuck around with. It's hard to do all of that stuff. Can't really call it an upgrade, but it does look better with the ZZP diaphragm for the butterfly. And yeah, she's coming along. Somebody also asked me what battery that is. It's a Red Top 35. So far so good. She's gonna make it out of her slumber and start hitting the road here. Yeah, if you have any questions, I'll be more than happy to answer them. Did a little cleaning in here. I gotta finish the center. See how dirty all the rest of the vehicle is. It's just been sitting. Well, I just drive it around the block and then it comes right back in here. But yeah, there's not really much more than that. All the rest of it is just polished and powder coating and looking fancy. The majority of the parts, once again, Minitech, ZZP, GM, Gen 5 blower. Why the Gen 5? Because it is the most efficient. The Gen 3 is not as efficient as the Gen 5. Although they look identical, they do not perform the same. And the main way you can tell the difference is you will see a screw hole right here. That's the best way to identify the Gen 3 and Gen 5. Now, this Gen 5 originally had a little button right here, but I sanded that away because I didn't like it. This did not come with the Pontiac G6 kit. None of the black did. That eBay special tubing, you know, it's all right. It's thick. It came scratched up. I was really disappointed in that. Yeah, that wasn't me that did all that. That's just the way it came. But the rubber on it was just super cheap, and I wasn't happy with it. So I just spent a little more money. Found that elbow. Found the connectors. It wasn't that much. It really made a difference. If you could see in the red, it was just hideous. Hideous. Just got done redoing the coolant system in here. Put some new radiator hoses in. And yeah, she's, like I said, she's ready to hit the street hard. Now that my powder coating's out of the way, I'm going to start moving on the other stuff. I'm going to do like a little wide body on here. Waiting for another Saturn to show up at the junkyard. I have spare red line front and rear bumper. I don't have the ground effects, but I don't think I really need those. So my idea is I'm gonna cut this arch all the way like that, and then I'm just gonna cut down a factory fender, and I'm just gonna glue it onto here. And I was even thinking about extending the wheel well, cutting two of them up and splicing them together, because you definitely want your wheel wells in there. Even though this doesn't get driven in the snow or the rain, dirt and debris still gets up in there and just starts causing havoc, and it makes the engine bay all dirty. But yeah, I was gonna get another fender on here, bump it out a little bit. Same thing with the rear. It's gonna be a little more work, but there's not that much poke. I like it like this, to be honest with you. And when I lower the rear all the way, the back tire actually tucks in perfect. The front tire does go onto the fender. There's really not much more than that. And that's the slew of parts that are still going in here, and I just don't have the time, but it's gonna eventually get done. I travel a lot for work, so I don't get much time home. Right now I'm currently on vacation. That's the only way I can really start knocking this stuff out. But I had to take vacation just to get this thing ready for the car show. So I'm gonna go and take it to the car wash right now, and I'm gonna finish cleaning up the engine bay and start shining her back up. And yeah, I got a new grill, brand new one from GM, sitting in the GM package. I got to redo all the carbon on here. It's old, it's getting brittle. Yeah, it's always a project. I'm never done. I'm never satisfied. So yeah, I mean, if you want to keep up with me, just if you can, like and subscribe. Like I said, if you have any questions, I try to answer everything. I don't stonewall. I want to see more builds like this. So if you're interested in doing this, you can. Now that I've figured out the majority of this, you can get it done way cheaper than me, because I've bought in multiple kits, multiple superchargers. Got fucking 5 set of injectors for this thing. I've sunk in some. I could have had a fucking Ferrari, for crying out loud. But but I got this. So yeah, if you can subscribe, that'd be really nice. I need to get my subscription up on my channel. I have the views. I just need more people to subscribe. That'd be great. So thanks for checking this out. And yeah, more to come. Don't think that I rest. I don't. Every night I think of more, and I want to do more. I'll add this too. So yeah, so I know I can't keep this thing together, but it will be coming back apart here shortly in the fall. I have an Acura TL 6-speed manual. I will be doing that swap. So my current problem is the ECU is untunable. I do know somebody that has a tuned Saturn Vue, and he went through a lot. He ended up having to swap over to an MDX ECU, MDX transmission. He also has a 3/7 swap like me. He had to do the cluster, and he had to do the shifter. He got it all to work. But like like all of us, when you start supercharging, you want to turn the boost up, and you just more and more and more, because this thing starts just freight training, and the feel is just so good. Currently with the 3.7 in there, I can just barely touch the gas and I'll roast the tires. That was me just getting into the, I didn't even mean to do that. She just ripped on her own. Well, I guess I did do it, but it wasn't on its own. I barely gave it any gusto, and it fucking started peeling on tires. But this also is a slick floor. I will add to that. But I've roasted the tires on the streets, and the 4-wheel drive kicks in. It's got a lazy 4-wheel drive system in there. You got to spin the front tires for a little bit, and then the 4-wheel drive kicks in. But it kicks like a mule, and it's fun to do. You got to be careful with these, because the rear ends on these are so bad. I've actually broken the rear end mount on this one. I had to go to the junkyard and get a new one. I should put this thing up on the lift, but I don't feel like it right now. But yeah, it's just a rear little fucking piece of metal mount, aluminum in the back. I fucking busted that into pieces. But yeah, so this will be getting a TL manual swap with the super handling all-wheel drive, and then I will convert over to the Acura suspension, front and rear. I know it's getting away from being Saturn, but it already is away from Saturn with it being a Honda transplant. So the whole front is basically Honda, from the motor mounts to the transmission, and then it's past the drive shaft where things start to change and start to get in the GM. But the one thing that's nice about the Acura setup is that it's going airbagged, because they sell airbags for the Acura. I can convert that very easily, and then plus I'll have disc brakes in the back. Now, I do have a rear disc brake conversion that I've been sitting on for like 3 years now. It's powder coated and everything, just sitting there. But there's no sense on me throwing it on if I'm just gonna rip this all apart and do that swap, because the swap's gonna happen, because the whole purpose of it is because the Acura is tunable. Well, this is not, so I can get Honda, and I should be in the ballpark of 400 to 500 horsepower. And then the future after that would be a Mustang supercharger Whipple. Now that I've seen this, I can make my own, and I could even half-ass it and weld it to this one, or cut this top plate off and make a new plate for the Mustang supercharger to sit. And I think those come in like 3.2 liter Whipples. I forgot. It's either 1.9 or 3.2. It's somewhere around there. You can get different superchargers for the Mustang, and that will definitely increase because this is just an M90. My current boost is 8 pounds at its highest. I can go down one more size, and that should get me between 9 and 12. But I would really like to see the 20s. If I could get into the 20s, that's when you start really cooking. So yeah, more things to come. I've been stashing away money for this next leg of the build. Like I said, I already have the majority of it. I'm gonna try not to get so particular. I have a problem with everything has to look good first time, and I'm gonna try to step away from that. I'm gonna get the whole thing done and running, and then I'm gonna tear it down and make it look good. Because I really want to get the manual in here. I miss stick. Nothing wrong with the automatic in here. Everybody says it's glass, but I've had no problems so far. Knock on wood. Hold on, let me find some wood. Here we go. It does have a low mileage trans in here. Got it off a wrecked Saturn from a little lady got rear-ended. She had like 46,000 miles on her Vue, and the transmission fluid was fucking beautiful red. I was so happy when I saw that, and I could already tell that it hasn't been beaten on, because like I said, I could baby floor this thing and it'll start screeching the tires. So the trans is healthy on this one. The previous trans was tired. I was beating the crap out of this thing. I'd manually shift this thing. I don't know if you guys ever tried it, but the LID, so low gear, works for first and second, and it'll redline past 6, and then you have to shift it into I, and then I will allow you to redline on each shift. Or you can just keep the vehicle in I, and I call that insane mode, because it definitely drives a little more crazier, holds the revs. Yeah, so, like I said, you guys could do me a favor and subscribe, please. I could really use it. Big wing coming soon. I got this hair up my ass for a big wing. I want the trunk wing and just big old massive obnoxious. Yeah. Like I said, I just got to keep this thing together, and I can start focusing on other things. So yeah, thanks for watching.